Okay, so I have a couple of clips that I want to go through really quickly in terms of the Epstein vote that went forward today. So the first clip I'm going to show is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, she's been kind of skirting around the issue of not mentioning Trump or not mentioning Trump by name or even his title. Kind of done with at this point, because if you remember Trump's Truth Social post, he directly called her wacky, he called her a lunatic. He's been saying that she needs to be primaried.
Damn!
She's made claims that her life is now being threatened, and that seems to be a pattern that whenever you decide to go against MAGA, very well could happen. But Trump dismissed that even. And so now she's not holding back. Now she's saying even the president of the United States is in cahoots by seemingly protecting child traffickers or protecting child predators. She goes about saying that there's millionaires and billionaires that were all affiliated with Epstein. So the government is actually not doing its due diligence in ensuring that there's justice for these victims. So here's the first clip.
I woke up this morning and I turned to my weather app to check the temperature, and it was 32 degrees. And my first thought was, hell has froze over. I want to speak goodness and love and hope into the women standing behind me and all of the other survivors whose names you don't even know, but stand with these women. They are survivors, and they are strong, and they are courageous, and they are daughters of God. They are not victims. These women have fought the most horrific fight that no woman should have to fight, and they did it by banding together and never giving up. And that's what we did by fighting so hard against the most powerful people in the world, even the President of the United States, in order to make this vote happen today. I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that. While I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation, which is something I've had a small taste of in just the past few days, just a small taste. They've been living it for years. But the real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files? Or will it all remain tied up in investigations? Will the CIA release the files? Will a judge in New York release the information? That's information that needs to come out. And will the list of names that these women privately hold, and they hold it because of their fear in their heart of what would happen to them if they release it on their own, will that list of names come out? That's the real test. So I want to thank Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna for your bravery in doing something that is much needed in America, crossing the political aisle that has become bigger than the Grand Canyon in America.
Now, the vote itself, it was unanimous. It was overwhelming. It was a majority, but it wasn't 100% complete. You had one outlier.
What?
There's always one person that just has to go against the grain and be a rebel and just buck the trend. Clay Higgins.
What a loser.
was the only Republican to vote against the Epstein files release. So without necessarily giving his exact words, he said that there were too many things that were going to be harmful to the victims, never mind the fact that they're the exact same ones calling for the files to be released themselves. They said it abandons 250 years of criminal justice procedure in America. As written, this bill reveals and injures thousands of innocent people, witnesses, people, and provides alibis, family members, etc. He wrote on X after casting his vote against the bill. Now, one of the fears that's actually been going around is that if you just name someone that had some kind of affiliation with Epstein, whether they visited his house, they visited one of his mansions, his apartment, something along those lines, necessarily those people might actually be named in the Epstein files. Your name might be there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. So that person now might draw some scrutiny, and some defamation could necessarily come onto their character, which would then cause them to file a lawsuit. You might have just known Epstein, you might have hung out with Epstein, he might have just shown up to a bar at the same time as you, and the two of you got to talking, you exchanged information, but you had no affiliation in terms of what it is that he was doing, whether in the island, in his hotels, with young ladies. But if that's the fear that you're constantly going to go with, and that's the justification for not releasing anything, then you're always going to be stuck in this position, and there's never going to be any justice, because while there might be 1,000 people that did nothing wrong, there might also be 20 that did.
Now he's a philosophizer.
So the next clip comes after Ro Khanna had given his speech. It's from one of the victims of Epstein and Epstein's trafficking.
Oh, good morning. It's a little chilly coming from Florida, not used to it. I want everybody to take a look. I know everybody sees us today as grown adults, but we are fighting for the children that were abandoned and left behind in the reckoning. This is who you're fighting for. This is who Congress is fighting for. This is who the House of Representatives are fighting for, and hopefully the Senate will fight for us too. I want to kick this off right, and I want to address Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, and Ro Khanna. I want to express my gratitude for all three of you, and I know, Ro Khanna, we spoke earlier. This is an incredible thing that I'm watching as a Republican, and this is non-political, but for you to go against your own party and to be ostracized, there's no place for political violence, there's no place for intimidation, and I can say firsthand, stepping out against Epstein and his crimes against children, we have all experienced that ourselves. So for you to knowingly put yourselves at risk and put your career at risk is unbelievable to watch, and we are so grateful. I also want to make a proposition for Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you've been an advocate for this. If you decide to read those names on the House floor for immunity, I will be more than happy. No security needed. I will stand beside you. I will hold your hand. I will hold your coat in solidarity with you. And on top of that, I did talk to Jayapal, who said she would be more than happy to read those names too on the floor with all of us. It's time that we put the political agendas and party affiliations to the side. This is a human issue. This is about children. There is no place in society for exploitation, sexual crimes, or exploitation of women in society. There's no room for it, guys. We're not having it. Not here today. I want to send a clear message to you. While in society, there's no place in society for exploitation, sexual crimes, or exploitation of women in society. There's no room for it, guys. We're not having it. And to the President of the United States of America, who is not here today, I want to send a clear message to you. While I do understand that your position has changed on the Epstein files, and I'm grateful that you have pledged to sign this bill, I can't help to be skeptical of what the agenda is. So with that being said, I want to relay this message to you. I am traumatized. I am not stupid. I am traumatized. I am not stupid. You have put us through so much stress, the lockdowns, the halt of these procedures that were supposed to have happened 50 days ago. The Adelita Grijalva who waited to get sworn in and then get upset when your own party goes against you because what is being done is wrong. It's not right. For your own self-serving purposes, this is America. This is land of the free. Land of the free. In 1863, we have a woman on top of the Capitol building represent freedom. I do not feel free today. I don't know if the women behind me feel free today. So I am begging every member of Congress, every representative to step up and choose the chaos. Choose the survivors. Choose the children. Protect the children. All children. You protect all of us equally.
So initially, what some thought would take a while for the Senate to get back to this, and they thought it was just going to be prolonged, no, they already voted.
Breaking news as we come on the air here at 5 o'clock. The U.S. Senate has just unanimously agreed to pass a bill releasing the Epstein files. The U.S. House overwhelmingly approved the same bill just hours ago. Now it will head to President Trump's desk, who recently reversed his opinion on releasing the files. After spending months calling the Epstein scandal a hoax, Trump says now he will sign the bill. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett has been calling for the files release for years.
I don't think America wants to hear any more of this. We went 4 years under Biden. Now we've gone nine months under this administration. I think it's time to get it out there. I can't speak for the president other than to say that I've said all along I want the list out.
Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty showing his support, saying in part, quote, "From day one, I have called for full transparency on the investigation into the criminal actions of Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump supports the release of these files, as do I."
Okay, so on Trump's sudden tonal shift in terms of the files now being released and him now wanting the files to be released, I can't help but think that one of three things actually transpired. Either one, the files are changed, or two, he sees that there's really no getting around this and his party is actually going against him in a stupendous amount of rebellion, or three, they're going to tie it up in investigations and the files will not be released. So with that said, release all of the Epstein files, not just what you think should be released. But we'll see what happens. Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and I will see you again on the next one. Be easy, y'all.